Oh yeah, there it is, y'all. Welcome back. I'm Paige.
And I'm Cindy.
And this is Mom's the Word.
Where mom knows best.
Or at least she is trying her best.
And today we're very excited.
We're very excited because we have a super duper special guest. Everybody say, hi, Grace.
Hi. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Of course. Everybody, if you don't know, this is at Grace Louessa on TikTok and Instagram. Most of you probably have seen her and her husband Nate dancing around, eating juicy barbecue. Something like that. You know?
Something like that. We're doing something crazy all the time here lately.
So Grace came to us to be on our podcast because we asked her to talk about what it's like to be a young mom, because you had Louessa fairly early on.
I did, yeah. I got pregnant when I was 19, and then I had her when I was 20, and then I turned 21 after that. So I was a young mom, and I don't know. I never really thought about it like that until I was older.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I think we all kind of go through those phases where you don't realize how young you were or how unprepared you were for a situation until you had to balls deep get thrown into it.
I think when I was 19, I was just so scared. I didn't want to mess her up. I didn't want to get judged for things. And especially being on TikTok and being on the internet, people are so quick to, throw stones. And
Hell yeah.
Did you feel that? So when you found out you were pregnant, did you feel scared to tell family, friends, people around you? Was it a big thing?
Yeah, I was terrified. So Nate had moved in with me in Colorado, and we decided we were going to move back. And at first I just told my family, I want to move back to just be closer to everybody. And, it was during COVID. And so at the ski resort I was working at had shut down.
You worked at a ski resort?
I worked at Aspen Ski Resort.
Girl, I love skiing.
We'll have to talk about it later. We can talk.
Oh my God, I love to go skiing. Wolf Creek, my dad took me whenever I was 8, right before my little brother was born. It was our last solo dad and daughter trip, and we went skiing, and then we went to Breckenridge.
This is the one thing that I'm you're going to count me out of that.
Oh my God, I love it.
If it ain't a sled, I'm not doing it.
We could go tubing, Cindy.
I would too.
You'd love it.
Tubing is so much fun too. That's fun in the snow.
And
That's the place
I was
to be.
working at a dinner theater too, and so all the shows were canceled, and so it was the perfect time just to kind of go home for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So when I went home, I waited till I was 10 weeks pregnant to even tell my mom that I was pregnant. I was so scared to tell her, which I shouldn't have been scared to tell her at the end of the day, because she's gonna love me no matter what. But
she was supportive.
Yes, yeah,
good.
Her and my dad were.
Deal.
Yeah.
Was your dad supportive too?
Oh, I forgot. Well, they were supportive, but they hadn't even met Nate yet.
Oh my goodness.
Really? How long had y'all been together?
A couple months.
Listen, Mark and I had been together for 9 months when we got pregnant with Boston.
Yeah, I think we were maybe together 2 or 3 months before I was pregnant with Louessa.
So that is definitely intimidating, because you're you haven't even met.
Yeah.
You haven't even met my dad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And was that Nate's in the studio, you guys. Were you terrified?
Yes.
My dad is a big guy, and he's a huge teddy bear. My dad cries literally if I was on me on stage graduating, him crying.
Yeah.
He's a big teddy bear, but I don't know. He was also very accepting of Nate, and Nate moved in with my mom and dad and I. We lived with my parents until we found our own place. So
That's great.
That's great that you had that experience.
Yeah.
Instead of the whole do-it-yourself.
Oh my God, some parents
situation.
are so bad about that. It's for me, because I was actively trying to get pregnant, but for you guys, it was this surprise.
And you know what they told me before he moved in?
What?
They were like, you guys do not need to move in together. You're going to get pregnant.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, Mom.
I'm going to be responsible.
You start playing house, you're like, okay, let's.
Yeah.
You get in the moment.
You really
and you
do.
just forget
Some little
about
bunny rabbits.
safety. That is what happens when you're in your first little bit of
puppy
love. And
yeah.
yes. And also being fresh 19, you're just out of the house.
Oh, yeah.
There's no parent there to tell you what you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
You're living on your big girl terms in your big girl apartment.
Out in Colorado. It was the spot to be.
Living the best life. And then so then you get pregnant.
Yeah.
And how does your dynamic with both Nate and just you change?
I was so scared. I know I said that earlier, but I was so scared about. I was researching everything. Mm-hmm. Can I eat this? Can I drink this? Mm-hmm. Can I? All these things. I had so much anxiety.
Yeah.
Which I know now is anxiety, but I don't know.
At first, you don't feel like it is.
No, yeah.
At first, you're just
what it is.
why am I feeling like this?
Yeah.
And it just feels
Because it feels like
overwhelming.
nervous, because you've never been through it before.
Yeah.
Anxiety.
But you can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
And your whole brain is consumed by the thoughts of all the things that could happen.
Yeah.
So you told your mom at 10 weeks. When did you tell the world?
at like 20 weeks.
20
we,
weeks.
we kept it a secret for like halfway until I was, halfway.
And you were already on TikTok whenever you shared.
Yes.
So y'all had a following at that point, and you were just like, we're pregnant.
So this is funny because I had followed Nate for a while. Like this was back in like 2020, before you even
Back
were in
when
the
he
picture.
was doing the thirst traps.
Like I literally remember him with like these dangly earrings. And I was a married woman. It's not like, I was following for weird reasons.
Yeah.
I just thought he was cool as hell.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm going to follow him. And then you came in the picture and I remember people were so excited because we're like, oh, there's a cute girl with him. And then I remember you guys announcing that you were pregnant, and it was like really quickly, but I was like, people just started to fall in love with you as well because you guys complement each other very well.
That's what I was going to say.
And I know there's struggles. We all have them in our relationships, but I'm like, you guys complement each other very well. And it was exciting to see you enter this like mom space because then when you had your baby, because you had shared your journey.
Yeah.
And then you had your child, and then we've got to see that side of you. And now you're just a mom creator out here with us and pregnant with your second. You are.
Pregnant with her second.
Yep.
If we
Yes.
haven't already said that,
I
congratulations.
know,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Another girl.
Another girl.
Another girl.
And you're far along right now.
Yeah, I'm a little over 32 weeks.
Ooh. How are you feeling?
Like I need a nap, but I'm good though.
Has this pregnancy been easier?
It was easier because I knew what to expect this
Yeah.
time. Like before, I didn't drink any pop. I didn't take any Tylenol with Louessa. I didn't do anything that you're not supposed to
Yeah.
do. I didn't eat Subway, nothing. Now I'm like, babe, I want a Subway sandwich. Just get it toasted.
You get more confident.
Yeah, toast it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get more confident. With your first with Louessa, did you struggle with anything postpartum after, or did baby blues, or?
So I think a big lie everybody tells you is if you're breastfeeding, you're going to lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
a lie.
Yeah.
Y'all lied to me.
Everybody's different.
Y'all lied to me.
But that was just my experience. But I gained 100 pounds after I had Louessa. And of course, like we talked about before, people like to throw stones on the internet. They
Yeah, they do.
like
They
to talk
really
a
do.
lot. And especially about me being overweight. They love to talk about that.
They do the same with me because I was open about a cosmetic surgery that I had a few years ago. So now that I've had another baby and I'm not immediately right back to that snatched,
Yes.
how I walked off the surgeon's table, they're, love to talk about my body now. And they just don't understand pregnancy changes your body.
Yeah.
Alters your bones. My pelvic is not even in the same place
Literally.
anymore.
Yeah.
My hips are wider. Jeans that fit me before don't fit me now, even though I'm technically back to my pre-pregnancy weight.
Yeah.
My body doesn't look it.
Yeah.
And I think also just the internet makes it look like, because you see these other mom creators and they snap back.
Yeah.
Like some
Yeah.
of them do.
Some people do.
Yeah.
They might not mentally, which we don't see,
Yes.
but it was hard for me being younger, seeing all these other women that were older than me having babies the same time as me, and they're back to normal.
Yeah.
Looking like a fitness model.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard because the internet had seen Paige before you were mothers.
Yeah.
Right. So like for me, I've always been the same size. And so like obviously I'm getting comments every day that I'm big and whatnot. Doesn't hurt my feelings. But for someone who was on the internet before at a smaller size and then you become a mother and your body changes, it's like a big shock for you personally. And then people are tearing you down for it. Your small 19-year-old body went through so much.
Yeah.
And now you're openly sharing about your weight loss journey and that takes so
And
much.
I'm not doing a weight loss journey when I was doing it before. Like
Yeah.
I'm not really doing it as hard as I was
Yes. Oh, yeah.
before because I'm pregnant now, but
You're still working out, girl. I wasn't
see
working
you.
out. If
now-
I'm pregnant,
now
I ain't
just
getting
doing
off the
stairs.
couch.
I'm just doing the stairs at our apartment now. That's
Hey, that's a
You're far
lot.
along.
If you ever carry groceries up the stairs in an apartment, that is a humbling experience,
yeah.
okay?
Or a toddler.
I made the mistake of getting myself all the way to the 3rd floor thinking I was going to be on the top of the world. I was in a penthouse. I had to walk them stairs with water cases. Forget about it.
Your original question was something about like postpartum.
Yeah.
And I was going to talk about it wasn't until I was like 6 months postpartum that I was like, I think I have postpartum depression because
Yeah. You don't see it at first.
I'm not okay.
yeah.
It didn't hit me until very recently as well because
Yeah.
I'm struggling pretty bad with my mental health right now, and my child is 7 months old.
Yeah.
And so I feel like in this last month I've really come out of that survival fog of like having a newborn
Yeah.
to understanding like I've been putting my own mental health on the back burner to be in this survival mode.
Yeah. And sometimes people like point it out to you too, because sometimes you're in the moment and you think, I'm supposed to be tired. I'm supposed to be touched out. My kid's doing this. That's how it's supposed to be, but you're not supposed to feel certain feelings, negativity and things like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's hard to see.
And what was your first sign?
Well, I know that this is normal now, but like thinking of all the worst things that could happen. I know that like that's just a thing that moms do in general.
Right.
But me carrying her down the stairs, being so scared, I'm going to fall down. And, just thinking these horrible, crazy things. And Nate would be like, Grace, you are tripping. Like, you are overthinking this. Everything's okay. Or I don't think I've ever gotten a full night's sleep, even when I'm not with her, like, since she's been born, because I'm just constantly on, not fight or flight, but
you are
just like,
it is kind of like that.
She breathing.
You like hear a noise
because you would flip into emergency mode immediately.
Yeah.
And as a mom, you're preparing for the worst constantly so that you feel prepared for anything.
Yeah.
Because ultimately we want to protect our kids. So we try to be over prepared. God forbid anything happens. And most of the time we just work ourselves up into these what if scenarios. And then we get afraid of things like going places. I know I struggle really hard with taking my kids into public spaces because I'm so afraid of an exit plan. Am I exposing them to something that could potentially cause them harm, and I won't be able to protect them and get them out of that situation?
Yeah. And it takes like sometimes to realize like not all moms feel that way.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I'm going to drop my child. You know what I mean?
Isn't
like
that nice?
It's just, and not all, like I know I went through that. Paige definitely still goes through that, but it's not a normal feeling to just always think that something bad's going to happen. And so like, it also took like my husband being like, no girl, like nothing's going to happen right now. There's no fever. Like for me, it was like, I checked for a fever like every 2 minutes when I first had a baby. Yeah. Like there's so much. And so like, I just feel like we all go through it, and sometimes we're like, oh, it's normal because us three all had that experience together, but it's not.
And then some people think that they're the unnormal one because they're seeing all the moms, like you said, that are happy, that look great, that feel great, that are, getting up and going and working out, and their kids look perfect and put together. And it's like, how are you doing this?
Right.
And it just puts so much pressure. And then you kind of start to self-damage because you're like, I'm not as good as this person is, and I'm not doing what they're doing. And that's just so unfair.
That's
to
why
everyone.
I started sharing on the internet.
Yeah.
It's because no mom looked like me.
Yeah.
Like there was not like, there were other moms, but like as a plus size mom who had a hard time trying to conceive, I felt like there was not as much representation. And so
there's not.
And there's not. So now people see me out here doing this with all these kids. And granted, I haven't been able to conceive my own second child. I'm still doing it with all these kids. I'm a plus size mom. I'm confident in myself. And hopefully it inspires other moms to see that. Because it takes a lot to be vulnerable with your whole self on the internet. Because putting ourselves on the internet is scary.
A couple of months ago, you made a video talking about just take the kids, take them outside, go do something. And like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. What if she has a meltdown?
Yeah.
But now, after you made that video, I was like, I'm going out.
Yeah.
We're going to.
That's
I don't care. We're gonna go.
That's
you
right.
know.
It's like moms would always ask me like, how do you do this? And like a lot of it is that I'm very experienced now.
Yeah.
But you just gotta do it, and the more you do it, the easier it's gonna get. And I talk to Paige about this all the time. Just go out there.
I'll be in the house. I don't know about that.
You gonna call me? I'm gone.
Yeah, she's literally, if you want to know where I am, the house, Target, or Sam's Club.
I feel like my day goes by easier with children if I'm out for like an hour or two.
Yes.
Like 2 hours out of the house, they're gonna come home and nap. Like that's already half of my day.
Yeah.
So like for me, it helped my mental
And
health.
it's a break to get out of the house sometimes
gosh.
too.
It's been nice. She forces me. It's been good for the mental health. I won't lie. If you're thinking about it, maybe dip your toes. It's not too bad.
I know you're the askers of the questions, but I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Since you've had so many like babies and you have another newborn right now.
Yeah.
Do you I know that it's not like the same, obviously, because like your body didn't go through it, but do you still feel that like you get burnt out? Like a newborn, having a newborn is hard because you said earlier survival mode. You're in survival mode
100% of the time.
Yes, I do.
And you have 2 under 1 right now?
Yeah. And something I've discussed is that I've had a newborn baby about every 8 months for the last 4 years. And so
My girl has not slept.
At all for the last 4 years.
and it's still hard every day. Like
Yeah.
accepting a new placement for a newborn baby, I am exhausted. I slept maybe 4 hours last night. And I don't get like postpartum feelings, but I definitely have postpartum anxiety creep up on me.
Yeah.
And I have seen it all. And so I get really scared with things like choking for me is a huge anxiety for little ones. If I hear a kid coughing. And so most definitely my postpartum anxiety from Bear, my first biological son, creeps up on me. And like, I'm not going through the, you know, roller coaster of emotions that moms are having after pregnancy.
The
But
hormones.
The hormones, yeah. But I'm definitely tired, and it's not the same, but
it is though. Like,
You're still taking care of a newborn.
a newborn baby who needs you at all hours of the day.
Yeah.
And then I do have 2 under 1. So it's been a journey these last couple of weeks of figuring out how to mom 2 kids under.
How old will Louessa be when this baby comes?
She'll be 2.5.
2.5. Is she excited?
Oh yeah. What I'm nervous about with her is she's gonna want to be like a little mama, and like she loves babies in general, and I think she's gonna be upset that she won't be able to help me through everything. You know, like.
I think that you'll love it.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
What I've seen is most of the time it feels like the child gets jealous whenever the mom has to, you know, take care of the baby.
Yeah.
But if you can find a way to delegate a responsibility to the child, hey, can you run this diaper to the trash? Can you get mommy the wipes? Can you help mommy pick out the outfit?
Yeah.
It makes that child feel included, so they don't feel like I'm being replaced.
Yeah.
They feel like they have a place to help. And I think that if that's already her personality, that you guys are gonna have so much fun.
And it's like scary. Like, you're at first, you're like, dang, how am I gonna balance 2 kids? And yours are 2 under 3, which Louessa's
Still
at
hard.
a hard age right now.
Yeah.
2 is always a fun time, but
The 3-nagers.
I know, but it's gonna be a joy for you to like see her. The only thing that I know is that they're more aggressive, and so I know with you when you brought Juliet home, Boston wanted to touch her.
Boston wanted to get her out of the crib, bro. Like, tried to pick her up by her blanket the very first day.
That's what I'm saying. I think Louessa is gonna want to hold her.
She'll be like, my baby. Yeah.
And he does. He still does. He'll say he won't go get her, but he will still be like, I want to hold her.
Yeah.
But it was very quick that he realized she's little and that mommy treats her differently.
Yeah.
You know, because like he's picking up on my body language and what I'm doing with the baby. And so he can see I'm being nurturing and calm and quiet around this tiny little human. Gentle. We'll say soft hands, soft hands. This is what we say pretty much all day long. Gentle. And they pick up on it. And now he'll come over to her and go, gentle, gentle. So you're going to love it. It has honestly been one of my most favorite things about being a mom, having a child that is old enough to understand that there's a sibling coming, because he'll come home and run immediately to her. Hi, baby sister. And what gets
so
cool is
sweet.
now that she's 6 months, or she's 7 months now, but ever since about 6 months when he'll come in, her whole face lights up. She recognizes him and she's happy. So it's just, I mean, you think you love right now, that just your heart just grows and just more and more love just gets poured into it. I'm excited for you.
I know. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited. I'm. You guys made me feel better about it.
Are you nervous?
Of course, I'm nervous.
Are you what's the most, like, is it the labor? Is it the...
I feel like the labor was the easiest part for me the last time. I pushed her out in 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
With baby number... Y'all, I pushed for an hour and 45 minutes and had a 3rd degree episiotomy.
But I told you guys I was tripping, though. I was Googling, YouTubing, everything. I would make Nate lay in bed and watch birth.
Do we all do that?
Birthing
I
videos?
did that.
I watched birth vlogs.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not. I did not want to see it.
I wanted to see it
when they
all.
handed me, they were like, do you want to see it in the mirror? I was like, no.
I wrote in my birth plan that I wanted a mirror so I could watch her come out.
Y'all are
scary.
brave. I don't want to see my vagina in that form.
I pushed also my first out in 15 minutes. Like, they had to stop me so the doctor could come. Like, he was coming
My
out.
doctor wasn't even in the hospital.
See?
Why are y'all so lucky?
He was stuck on the highway with
So they
construction.
say the second's just
Mine
gonna
was tired of the time and was just like, give me the scissors. We're going to cut this bad boy out of you.
No.
You had a C-section for Boston?
No, I had a 3rd degree episiotomy.
Oh, what, huh?
That's a
3rd
rip.
degree episiotomy.
That's a rip.
It's not even a rip. It's quite literally where they take these large surgical scissors and cut you from vagina to asshole.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they stitch you back up. It is.
She's like, great. I'm going to be there.
Well, if you had that little of issues with number 1, I will say with
See,
number
that's why
2,
I'm scared, though.
it took me 20 minutes. So it was like so much less time, and I did not have an episiotomy. So if you didn't already have that in your first one, I mean, not that I'm no doctor, don't get me quoted over here, but I don't think that you'll have any issues.
Especially because you had a nice vaginal birth with no issues.
Yeah.
That means you stretch well. You should be fine. But dang, Paige,
stretch
scare people. That's what
My
they
bad.
say.
My bad. Yeah, it was. I don't apparently. So
I made Nate do the perineal stretches.
the
you?
olive oil. Olive oil spray. Did you see that
olive
trend
oil.
on TikTok?
So I told my mom, I was like, I need
oil in their
olive oil
hoo-hoos.
because you're supposed to rub it down there. And she's like, I didn't do that when I was having a baby. I'm like, oh well.
That cannot be sanitary.
But since everything went so well with Louessa, she was a great baby. She was not colicky. She didn't cry. Like, she only cried if she needs something.
No, she put that on her. Like, second baby. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't want to scare you this entire podcast, okay? But Boston was my calm, sweet, lovey baby, and Julia is like, if you put me down, I will light this room on fire. So, I think every child's
It's
different.
not gonna be like that for you.
Probably not,
Right.
because Boston is so good. We're just gonna terrify Grace.
I'm not. Bear was my hardest, and he was my first. So every child after that has been great.
I'm just gonna get up and leave the podcast now. No, my
She's
input is
scaring
no
her.
longer.
But even as like an older baby, like when she was like 1 and like now her as a toddler, she's just such a good kid. And so I'm
I
like,
love that. So it's gonna be.
how am I going to do the same with the second? How do
You
I?
already did it one time. You can.
you can.
You can.
But they do their own thing.
They do their own.
It doesn't
thing.
matter what I say.
No, it doesn't
They
matter.
run the show at the end of the day.
You will
But-
adjust and learn how to love all of their little quirks and things.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so great. So do you guys already have a name?
Yes.
Do you want to say?
So
the
you don't
name?
have to share.
You don't have to share.
I'm not going to share yet.
Can you
but-
tell us? Can we bleep this out, Ben? Can we bleep this out? Will you tell us?
Oh, so cute.
It's really cute, y'all. Okay, y'all are gonna like it a lot. And
big
if you
deal.
don't, we don't care.
Big deal for a name.
Huh?
It's a big deal to.
Oh,
the
yeah,
name.
yeah.
Like when
Doesn't
I
it feel weird to name a human?
literally.
Yeah, it's a big
It's a
responsibility.
huge responsibility. And then what if they hate it?
Yeah.
And like I spent all this time getting you a special name and you don't like it.
Well, like we took a long time to get
me.
Bear's name, and we don't even call him by his real name. We call him
I-
Bear,
I
and
don't
everyone thinks his name is Bear.
Literally, I didn't know for a while that it was.
And now we have Fox, so nobody knows who what their
Who's
real
that?
names are. Bear and Fox. What, girl? You're crazy. They have other names. They do.
woodland creatures.
I like it.
She's got herself a little forest of
I think.
of children over there.
Don't ask me, you guys. Okay, Bear liked the name Fox because he was Bear, and it just happened.
I think it flows perfect.
And now when you see Fox, you're like, oh, that's Foxy Boy.
He's a foxy
That's
boy.
Foxy Boy. Yeah, exactly.
He's so cute.
Did you guys have a long time getting names?
Yeah, we couldn't agree on a name for anything. But well, Nate is kind of the one that like, because I was like, oh, we can't name Louessa after,
Yeah.
like, I don't want to name her after myself. Like, that's weird. But he was like, but Louessa is such a unique name.
So it's your
Nobody-
middle name?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I had
love
asked that because I was
that.
like, her account's Grace Louessa, and I thought it was like you and your daughter, but it's your name.
Yeah.
So I
That's
thought
cute.
Louessa's so like unique and beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
I'm the original Grace Louessa. And then her middle name is Lane, which is Nate's middle name, Nathan Lane. So Louessa Lane.
Oh my god,
That's
that's
so
so cute.
cute.
Y'all both have good middle names.
Yeah, you too. Nate Lane.
I know.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Fancy. Good
I used
Lord.
to hate my middle name because I wanted to be like a Lee or a Lynn, like
Something
something that
simple.
everybody else had.
Marie.
Yeah,
Marie.
that would have been great.
I
But-
literally said my whole life that my daughter's middle name would have been Marie. I had reason though; it was my grandmother's middle name, but then I realized how popular it was, and I was like,
Everybody's a Marie.
maybe
Everyone.
we should go a different route. That's the hardest part about picking baby names is that you want it to be unique, but then some of the unique names are,
They're a little cement, concrete.
you know, you know. Do you remember? Oh my gosh, whenever social media got like real big back in the day when Facebook was a new thing, I remember seeing the Ladasha. Do you remember that story where it was like LE
Dash.
hyphen A, and they pronounced it Ladasha.
I don't remember that.
Ladasha.
I do remember at the time when the celebrities started coming out with like Apple. and things like that.
Yes.
And it was so unique, but I kind of loved that. I think that's why my kids have.
You have unique names.
I just like in my mind, like they're already an athlete. And so like one day they're gonna be like, Bear Hoffer.
I'm not lying to you. I was
Fox.
like, what if he's walking across the stage at Harvard? Dr. Boston Thomas. I was like, yep, that's it. That's the one. You know, that's what you kind of hope for your kids is that their name makes them sound strong,
Yeah.
especially for
Yes.
a boy.
Yes.
Anyways,
Yeah.
that was our main thing was like, I wanted his name to sound like a strong male, but also a cute little boy. You don't want to give them too cutesy of a name whenever they're little, you know, because some people will be like, I'm trying to think of a name that would just only work for a toddler. And then you get a CEO and you're like, okay.
I hear people say the opposite. They're like, they don't want like a Chuck, like a grown grandpa name.
A Chuck?
like
I
could
would
you see a
love
toddler
that.
be Chuck? Come on.
I would think that's the cutest thing ever, personally. For me, yeah, I would like that.
You want to ask someone?
Grace is like, y'all are
Chuck.
Chuck.
Maybe I've had a bad experience with Chucks. I don't know.
Have you had a
Chuck's not doing it for me.
You know,
No hate to Chucks
Sorry,
out there,
Chuck.
by the way. No hate.
I met Chuck Norris as a child. Yeah,
The real Chuck Norris?
the real. So this is a fun story. My biological mom did makeup for Chuck Norris for Walker Texas Ranger whenever it was on air.
Okay.
And one of the times that I saw her as a child, I got to go on set and I watched him kick somebody's ass. I was terrified of him. I didn't know he was a celebrity. I just watched him beat somebody up. So I have like a Polaroid of me with Chuck Norris.
I need
If you're
proof.
out there.
I need a picture.
We're friends. You just don't know it. I've known you since I was 5.
So we do have questions for you that
Yes, we do.
we went on Instagram. If you guys are not following us on Instagram, please do. We do Q&As over there. We have some behind the scenes. We would love for you guys to go over there and follow us there. And so we asked you guys questions for Grace. So we're going to open them up and see what they were. Y'all were so excited for her to be here. So were we. We were pumped. And all of our
I was
guests.
so excited when you said yes.
I know.
I was so excited to get asked.
So like, what's crazy is I was like, you guys moved closer, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh snap, they're a drive away.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like he was talking about shows, and I was like, oh, I can just skedaddle to Oklahoma City or wherever it may be.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can finally go to a show, and I was like, wait, she can come to Dallas.
It's not a bad drive because you're in Arkansas.
Yeah, it's not that
Not that
bad.
bad.
It's really not.
We're like
kind of
45
neighbors.
We're like 45 minutes away from Northwest. So you weren't there. It was like 4 hours basically. 4
not
hours.
bad.
30
Is that where the
minutes.
Sam's Club headquarters is over there?
Yeah.
I didn't drive, but no, I've been there before.
You didn't drive?
No, my husband
She
did.
don't drive.
I don't drive.
Oh.
I don't. If it's
She's a
over
passenger
18
princess.
minutes,
Yeah, we're all passenger princess.
Okay.
and a pillow princess. All of the above.
Preach.
Any of that I can be, I want to be that.
Same.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Questions.
I hope so.
How have you and Nate grown together in your relationship?
I feel like we've matured night and day. Like when we met, we were literally kids. I don't talk about this a lot, but we did OnlyFans when we first met, and now I'm now I'm like a totally different human being. Like I've just grown and matured so much with him. Like we went from literally being kids and just messing around, doing whatever we wanted to do, not caring about not that we weren't like reckless, but like just not caring about our not appearance is not the word. Like not
Your
caring about
reputation.
our not really.
Not being as responsible.
I understand
Yes.
what you're saying
Yes.
because I've worked in the adult industry before, and not that I've ever said that out loud to anybody.
Yeah, I've
but
never talked about it either, but
Yeah,
mom's the word.
Yeah, mom's the word, baby. We've been there. I've been there, and it was really hard for me because in the moment, I didn't care. Put me on a billboard, make me the it girl. I didn't care. Now, I would just feel like that isn't who I am now.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't resonate now if that type of, like if it was, I don't know, if it was like a sticker you had to wear constantly that says like, this is what you've done with your life.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me who I am. Like I've lived
Right.
that experience,
Yeah.
but now it would embarrass me because that's not who I am. Not because I'm embarrassed by that industry.
Yeah.
It has a place, you know,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it while I did it, but now
I
it doesn't
enjoyed
resonate.
the paycheck for sure.
Hello,
Yeah.
the money
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
the reason.
That was
it
the
so-
reason.
so
Exactly.
nice. And honestly, I don't personally feel like anybody goes into that position for the fun of it. There's a reason that you put yourself into a position to be in the adult industry. Although mine was different than OnlyFans. I didn't want to be in that position to have to do that.
Yeah.
But I knew that I had bills to pay and that I needed a way to do that quick and easily. And so I totally get what you're saying when you're like, now I feel like I've matured out of that.
Yeah.
Not that that's a sign of immaturity.
No,
It's
absolutely
certainly
not.
not.
You gotta do what you
It's
gotta do.
just,
Yeah.
it doesn't resonate with who I am now.
Like now who I am, I'm proud of the mom I am. I'm proud of the person I am. Just like you were saying, like not that I wasn't proud of who I was back then, but I just feel way more level-headed, I think. And
I make
things
better
change.
decisions.
Yeah.
When you have a child, your whole perspective changes.
Yeah.
Like I bet for Nate it changed. Like he had to become a different kind of man.
Oh,
you have
yeah.
to be completely different.
Especially when you have a daughter.
Oh, exactly.
And I have seen him grow every day. I see him keep growing into just not that he's not a good man, but just
Yeah.
a better man all the time.
You have to
You
so
never
young.
be your
No.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We're always going to be growing forever. I mean, I hope I'm 65 and
Yes.
still learning things and capable of opening my mind to
too.
knowing that
Being
things
able
can
to
change.
admit when you're wrong.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Like
It
seeing,
takes time.
I
And y'all
was
are
wrong.
so young still. Like it's taken, you know, Chris and I a long time to grow together. We've been married 10 years. We've been through.
She won't put a finger in his butt.
You.
I've been talking to her about this.
Ben,
She won't.
She won't. Not all men want a finger in their butt, Paige.
She.
Oh my goodness. I cannot. Anyways, they're
It
gonna,
always takes a fun turn, doesn't it, Ben? Look at Ben's face.
but seeing them change as
Nate
like
is so scared right now.
I
He's
know.
like, don't say anything.
Nate. But seeing them grow is also really cool to see because, and he's gonna keep growing. Like 23 is young. I don't know how Nate is if he's your age or not, but
Yeah, he's 23.
yeah. So it's gonna change a lot.
Yeah.
And like seeing
His frontal lobe isn't even developed yet until what, 25, right?
25.
I remember like when Chris became a dad, he's like, my whole life changed. My vision changed. Now I need to hustle twice as hard because I'm not caring for me. I'm caring for you. And for us, he wanted me to be a stay-at-home mom. He had this dream of what we were going to look like, and we do. Like he put that plan into action. And I see y'all hustling. And so it's just, y'all are doing a great job at
Thank
it.
you.
And
He does seem like he shows up for you.
Yeah.
but
he
you show
does.
for him too. And I love that. But yeah, y'all are going to keep hustling. And then when you're my age, you're going to look back and be like, God damn.
You're gonna feel like it was a different lifetime.
Literally.
I look at that person and the last 4 years I feel like I've lived 4 different lifetimes. So it's like I look back at the person I was at 19 and I'm like, who's that girl? Because I don't agree with her. First of all, I don't want to know anything that came out of her mouth because I don't know her. So it's just
I
like,
don't even remember me. at
yeah,
19.
literally, you will very
We don't know
quickly
her.
realize that you will not resonate with things forever.
Yeah.
You may in that moment,
And
and
this-
it may be exactly what you need in that moment.
And like decisions don't define you.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
Goodness.
I
How
agree.
many times I've changed my mind? You can change your mind tomorrow. You make another decision.
Yeah, I could change my mind right now. Get up, walk away.
Please don't,
I
please
won't.
don't leave us.
Why'd you make the move to Arkansas, and how are you enjoying it so far?
I'm enjoying it.
A lot of people want to know that.
Yeah, they do.
Really?
Yeah, they're interested.
Well, Nate is from Arkansas. He was born and raised in Arkansas, and he moved back from here in Texas his whole life. And the last 3 years, he's lived in Illinois with my family, and he's been homesick. He has been missing his family, and I've gone and moved and lived in Colorado by myself. I'm okay with being alone. My mom is just the sad one,
Oh, I
you
bet.
know.
Yeah.
I bet.
But I'm okay, just like. I was okay to move and give him some time with his family too, so that our kids can know his side of the family more. And
Yeah.
Does he have a
Also,
big
like different
family?
opportunities.
yeah.
What'd you say?
Nice. Does he have a big family?
No, he only has his like mom's side of the family, but I have a big family back in Illinois, so they're all always
everywhere.
yes.
Well, I hope Arkansas works out for you guys.
Yeah,
Good
thank
opportunities
you.
out
Me
there.
too.
And, yeah.
It was easy to drive here from Arkansas,
It really
so that
was.
was a good opportunity.
Good to know.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for with having a second kid?
I'm excited to see Louessa be a big sister, and I'm just excited for our family to grow, and I'm excited to see Nate with 2 babies in his arms.
Yeah. Isn't it attractive when a
It so
dad's
is.
carrying a baby? There's
Literally.
nothing.
An
There's
active
nothing
dad?
as good
Yeah.
as an active dad, like rocking a baby to sleep. Like gets me going. Gets me
We
going.
tried to find like a baby wearing thing for Nate before, but we couldn't find any like plus size.
Oh, girl.
So you're gonna
I
have to tell
got
me.
you.
You know,
Any
Yeah.
plus size companies out there feeling like sponsoring?
right?
Grace.
Send it my way.
We need some
She
plus
needs
size
some-
wraps.
She
I
needs
will let
some
you know
wraps.
though. I'll let you know because I've wrapped Chris, and Chris is a big dude. So
Really?
yeah.
I had a Moby wrap, but it.
So I had to make my own Moby wrap because they didn't have it in plus size. And you'd like the fabric at like Joanne Fabric. I only spent like $12. It's the same
Okay,
exact
Joann's.
fabric.
Yeah, it does the same
And you get
thing.
in like black or gray. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Nice. Make your own. DIY.
Yep.
Okay.
DIY.
Grace is always so motivated and positive. Does she have any tips?
I don't show on camera when I'm
camera.
not positive
Camera shows a little bit.
or motivated. Yeah, I try to be like positive on the internet because I wouldn't want to put negative stuff out there to bring anybody else down. So
Yeah.
I don't share negative parts of my life. A lot of people say sometimes, why don't we never hear Louessa crying in the back of your videos?
Why would I post that?
Why would I
Yeah.
post my child
Yeah.
crying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Ever.
like Louessa's always so well behaved. She is well behaved, but she does have, moments where she's having really big feelings, and
Yeah.
I'm not going
Right.
to show that on the internet. That's like a go ahead.
It's like a safe space for her though that you won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's a child.
Yeah. And I feel like I've always been really careful with what I share with her, especially I've always been really, some people in my family think that I am, what's the word? Too strict about it, but
those are boundaries you had to set though.
Yeah.
I get that.
And I don't think that people, and I mean this with respect, I think that if you're not a creator, you don't fully understand it yet.
Yeah.
Because I, even in the beginning of being a creator, was like, what's the big deal? Like, I'm just sharing them. And then now the more I grow, the more I pull back, because it just feels like there's too many eyes.
And she's still like, you might see her face in like my vlogs or something, or hear her talking, like just something sweet. But I had an experience. We were at a pizza ranch in like just my small town back home, and it was a girl came up to me. She came up to Louessa, and I had never seen her before. And she was like, "Oh, hi, Louessa." And it was after Louessa had gotten out of the hospital. I don't know if you remember any of that, but she had like some breathing problems. So we had a pediatric ICU stay. We stayed on the peds floor twice. It was bad. And I feel like even in the hospital, I didn't even make any videos. I made one video saying, "Hey, I haven't posted anything. This is where we're at." That's it. Because it wasn't a space for me to make videos.
Right.
You weren't feeling happy to jump up and do a video.
And so just with little information that I even really shared about the situation, this girl had came up to Louessa. "Hi, Louessa, are you feeling better? I know you were just in the hospital." And I just like naming off other things about Louessa, like things that she could get her to talk about. And the lady was so nice and so sweet.
She didn't mean anything.
No. Just because the information that I had shared, what she knew scared me.
Because in the wrong hands, that could be different.
Yeah. And I don't know, the world can be a crazy place. I think we are seeing that so much.
Yeah.
All
We're
the
exposed
time.
to a lot more humans than a normal person would be.
Yeah.
And I feel like people think we share a lot. And I can tell you right now, you do not know me. Like, I'm so private that what I share with you, like, I know exactly what moments you're getting it from.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I read a post the other day. It's like, I'm so private that if I hear something about me from somebody, I know who told you about it.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't gonna find out nothing about me. You can think I share, but I don't share that much.
No, I don't either.
No.
Do you and Nate want more than 2 kids?
Nate would have a whole basketball team if he could. He wants a lot of kids, but we'll see, because my bladder already is not holding up after one.
Oh no, my bladder is donezo. Like I'm okay. You ready for an embarrassing story? I mean, like within seconds of knowing that I have to pee, if I don't get up and go pee, we're gonna. It's
Y'all need to do some Kegels.
Same.
I'm gonna.
Girl,
have
I've
to.
been trying to
Get
do
your
the
Kegels
Kegels.
on.
I've been trying.
Now,
Listen,
I've been trying. Kegels right now. Your baby's dropping. They know Kegels.
I peed myself
When I sneeze.
We've all peed ourselves, I think.
like a month ago. I peed myself.
Well, you just had a baby.
It was
Yeah,
so
you're
humbling.
months ago.
It was so humbling. Yo,
You're still
this is such a
loosey-goosey a little
stupid
bit.
story, but I was trying so hard. We have on the side of our house, we have like a bathroom access. So I'm attempting to get to this door as I've just gone to the grocery store, and I'm like running to this door, and it's through my backyard, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. So did I pull my pants down? Yes. And then
You were at your
immediately-
house at least.
I did. I
Yeah.
did make it to my backyard. So I peed in the floor of my backyard, and then I'm like, oh, better wash off. So I just got in the pool.
Listen, all of us moms have been there.
Yeah, I'm
Been
not
through some
judging.
stuff.
Literally holding yourself trying to go to the bathroom.
No, physically having to
I've
physically
considered
hold
taking
yourself.
a diaper. Like,
So incredibly humbling. It's
It really is.
it does something to you.
I know.
Yeah. And the first time, like, I got really sick after having the baby and throwing up, and then like accidentally peeing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it puts you in a weird headspace.
my
It
goodness.
really does, makes you feel old and broken. Oh man.
You just had a
let's see.
baby, girl.
I know.
Give yourself some grace.
Nothing works right. What would you like to do different on social media this time than what you did with your first daughter?
When Louessa was born, I didn't like show her face. I didn't really show anything when she was first born. I think that I still want to do that this second time. Like just protect. I just want to protect my kids.
Yeah.
And now, like I said, like I shared some information before. I really just try to keep it like, you're not going to know anything.
That's
like,
right.
If you see them in the back of a video or like day in the life, this is my life, you
That's
know?
right.
So,
That's right.
but I feel good. I feel good with my content. Like, I feel like I've never like made
figured it
my,
out.
I feel like I've never made my content about Louessa.
That's right.
Like, come here, Louessa, we're gonna like.
She's a part of your life.
Yes,
but she's not.
She's not
the
my content.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like Bear's at this age now where he wants to be in videos. He will literally
Yeah.
ask
he does.
me to be in videos. Like
You can tell. You
oh
can
my
tell.
god! And like, so I'm also like, if I go somewhere, you're not gonna see that video until I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, people will think I'm like, I'm at the state fair. I was there 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not at the same location that I was.
Yeah.
Also, I'm never in the city that I say I'm in usually. Like, people will see me like,
She travels everywhere though.
because nobody know where I live. They'll be like, she lives in Dallas somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere. And so,
Texas is so big though.
yeah, it is.
yeah. And where we live here
is
in
big.
Dallas, there's literally like 15 towns that I could be
Yeah.
in. It's crazy.
And the traffic here, not for me. I don't know how you guys do it.
I don't. I told you I don't. I don't get in the car. I don't like it. I don't.
It scares me.
It's
Literally.
horrible. Why are there 7 lanes?
Why are they going up above me?
Literally, it's the concrete coffin is what I
Yeah.
call it because it's terrifying.
Not the concrete coffin.
Not the
Because then you get on the highways and they've got daggone barriers. Listen, I'm from where there's grass. If you come swerving into my lane, I might spin out in the grass, but I'm going into the shoulder.
Yeah.
You cannot do that here.
No.
It is a concrete barrier. You are literally in a concrete coffin.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. It terrifies me. I don't like it at all. But I also can't move because I have separation issues. So here we are. Let's see here. How do you find time for Grace?
How do I find time for like me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't sometimes. You know, like if I do, like the other day I went and I got my toes done, and the whole time I was sitting there, I'm texting Nate, "Hey, how are you guys doing?"
Oh my God, the comments
relatable.
on that video where they were like, "You're gonna go into labor getting a pedicure."
Oh yeah.
Let her get her feet rubbed. Do y'all realize that those people know that there's certain places in your feet that
Yeah.
they could hit that would send you into labor? And I'm sure you went in, you were like, "I'm pregnant." As I remember my lady, I told her whenever I hit, I was like, "Hey, we're getting pretty close over here. You
Yeah,
wanna
she
put
could
some pressure
see.
in it."
She could see.
She could
but
see you pregnant.
the first time with Louessa, I told you guys I was scared about everything. I made a video about I was going to get a pedicure. Everybody commented the same thing about, oh, you can't get a pedicure when you're pregnant. That pregnant, like you'll go into labor. I didn't get a pedicure.
Yeah.
So I went and I got my pedicure. But
That's right.
I like Nate also, he started a new job here. So I'm home all the time with Louessa, just me and her. And I like being at home with my kids. So I don't,
Yeah.
right now I have not found my Grace time yet. I also don't know anybody in Arkansas. I don't have friends here. We have his family, but they're all busy. They've got their own lives too. So maybe that's something I need to work on.
Yeah.
Maybe
Mine is
after
kind
the
of
new
the
baby.
same. I won't lie. So whenever I got with Mark, I moved from my hometown to here in the city, and my hometown is much smaller than this large city that is so full of these people everywhere. And so for a while, I was like, didn't know anybody, didn't care to know anybody. And then Cindy realized that I was local to her.
Yep.
And she was really the first like local friend besides my husband's ex-wife that I've ever hung out with.
Yeah.
So I think that it'll take time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I will say she's pushed me to get out of the house and to do more things. And it's been really nice to have a mom friend that understands motherhood and all that comes with it to hang out with. I think that's so important because sometimes your friends that don't have kids
They don't
don't
get it.
understand when they say just bring the kids and you say okay buckle up Betty because it's about to be fun for us all, and they don't understand the experience of doing things with kids either. They don't understand like
Or
that kid is
times.
still the priority
Yes.
during all of this.
Yeah.
And I know that you want to go do that fun thing, and of course I do too, but my child comes first.
Yeah.
I think they don't see like the mental strain it puts on us too. Like to bring my kids to somebody's house that's not
It's
like
hard to leave
child-proof.
them.
Oh god.
It's hard to leave them. It's hard to bring them.
I've been taking her to like the library and stuff to
Yeah.
try to meet just other kids her age, moms, But so we'll see where the library story times go.
And also you can look at local moms groups. And I know it's
She's
scary,
the
but
best
like
on that.
yeah, because it's scary, but like if you meet 15 people, one of them might be somebody that you connect with. And if you can find that in your area, it's really important. It helped me a lot. I'm pretty outgoing. Although I like to be at home, like I needed somebody to help me at those young ages because it's a lot.
It's a lot. And even though like you obviously rely on your partner, I feel like you do need somebody outside of your partner too to just hear you out sometimes, because sometimes you can get so stuck in being in the house with your husband. Like I know like there's situations where it'll be like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it is.
But it
I need
is.
somebody to tell me it is,
Really.
So that's a huge thing.
We have time for one more.
Yes, I believe we do. Let's see here. Oh, it's already 1:45. Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us.
A lot of them were like the same. Like they want to know.
Yeah, I think one of these is funny though. I was gonna do the
Okay,
funny
let's do
one last. Oh yeah, Grace, if you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
Ooh, I think I'd be a cat. It's basic.
Me too.
Basic.
I love cats.
Me too.
But
Really?
Yeah.
you gotta like
lay
earn
around.
my respect.
Yeah.
'Cause
You just
cats,
be chilling all the time.
yeah, cats they sleep a lot. They
I just get
they're
fed.
warm and cuddly.
I'm fuzzy.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't mess with me
yeah.
because either you like a cat or you don't. You know?
That's true. I'd be a bear. So
Would you really?
yeah.
They had this question the other day at my Starbucks. It was, would you be a bird or a bear? And I picked a bird really fast. And then I was like, wow, I'm surprised at how many people have chosen the bear. And the barista was like, well, you know, hibernation. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. I would totally
So like
hibernate.
I choose a bear. Like obviously I love being a mama bear, but like I chose a bear because bears are like brave, resilient. You know, they are independent people, and
Yours
they
is
care.
so
They care
poetic.
for their like kitten and their kids and stuff like that really well. And then they get to hibernate and chill and eat like fish all day. And I like the water, so
I like the water.
My whole part's like, I'm about to take a 6-month
like,
nap.
I'm gonna be a cat.
I'm going to be asleep.
Oh my
See, I didn't think very hard about my answer, but
That was quick.
Hers was like completely philosophical.
yeah,
like,
she had hers ready.
listen, she was excited about it.
I've literally been waiting for that question. I've got it ready. I'm just kidding.
Oh, goodness.
This
Well,
has been
was
so
fun today.
great.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you
talking
guys
about
for having me on.
motherhood. Do you have any advice, anything last moment you want to say?
It's okay to learn. It's okay to let yourself learn. Let yourself be vulnerable as a mom. You're not going to know everything. Ask for help. You know, it's a whole learning experience all the way around.
That's right.
Be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Take your time, mamas. Take your time. As usual, this was so much fun. We have a good time together.
We had a really good time. I've enjoyed having you, Grace. I've been a longtime fan of you and your husband, Nate.
Now we get to take you to eat some fair food.
I like
I'm
to say Nate because I
excited.
followed Nate for a long time. So I'm like, now my friend Nate's here.
As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Keep the giggles going.
And the left flowing.
Until next time, Mom knows best.
Or at least she's trying her best.
She's trying her
I know
best,
that's
y'all.
right.
Thanks, Grace. Thanks for coming on. You ready to eat a corn dog? Mom's the Word podcast is recorded at the Museum of Neon Lights in Frisco, Texas.
It is a selfie studio open to the public.
Mention the podcast and you'll get an exclusive 10% off.